Hi dear students. This video record is to demonstrate how a presentation file is created in Inventor or animation file. First remind you in which case animation file is required or maybe a good practice to provide. Object is very complex object. It is an assembly, and in the structure of the assembly there are lots of components. And during the assembling stage, in such a case, it may be a challenge for the technicians to know which component is to be mated to where in which order. Such a case, yes, in design office, we can create a presentation file, animation file. In an animation file, then the components can be seen as flying in the space, in the atmosphere, and finding their places in the correct order at the correct place. Yes, let us see how such a file can be created. Yes. I open Inventor. The project is not active. I'm going to create the animation file in the content of the same project as a part of the same project. So, first activate that project. If it is not active, then activate it. You know how. Clicked on Projects button along the Get Started ribbon, and then in this dialog box clicked on Browse tab, and then in the Search dialog box in the search window show the address. Yes, in partition D and Mac 114 folder. Yes, this is the project folder. And after opening project folder, since the project has been defined already, say in Inventor using its tool as a project, then can find project definition file. Indicating the project definition file and then clicking on open button, then can activate that project, to continue on the rest. But if Pack and Go process has already been applied, then I recommend to be able to find all the things in the address. Show the project definition file after opening package folder. Yes, the copy of the same file, project definition file, is in package folder. With a click selected and then clicked on open button, and then finish the activation stage, clicking on Done tab. Okay, then after turning back to the same project, I'm going to open the assembly file and then remind you, I'm going to use which example to demonstrate how an animation file is created. Simple assembly. Change the visualization style to see the boundaries along the edges of the surfaces. Shaded with edge, is recommended visualization option. Yes, although this assembly, this object is not a complex one, not a crowded one with components, but since it is the existing assembly file, okay, and we are studying on this example, I'm going to demonstrate the things for creating an animation file or presentation file using this model, and kindly request you say that assume as if this assembly were a very crowded assembly with its components. So to be able to help the technicians to inform them to see which component is to be assembled where and in which sequence, in which order. Okay, assume that it is complex object as if, and then prepare an animation file. Is it necessary to keep the assembly file as active in the domain for creating presentation file? No, no need. Especially if the RAM size of your computer is not so good to keep lots of different files simultaneously. I recommend close the unnecessary files. So no need to have the assembly file as active in the environment to create the presentation file. So I'm going to close this assembly file. After saying that, well, presentation going to be prepared for that assembly. And then, well, let's start. How a presentation file is created. It is going to be a new creation, so in this logic, click on New File Creation button first. And then, well, decide which unit system you're going to use for inputting the values, etc. Then select the option accordingly. And then make the template selection from the last part of this intermediate pane. It is just the part to find the presentation templates, presentation file creation templates. You see it is written presentation, and well, make the selection on that option. It is corresponding template in accordance with ISO rules. Okay, and then click on create button. And yes, after saying that gonna create a presentation file, as it is obvious logically, program will ask you, okay, well, presentation file going to be created for which assembly? At present in the folder there is only one assembly file, okay, but there might be more assembly files, sub-assembly, main assembly, okay. So well, this is a reasonable stage to deal. For which assembly, whether the main assembly or sub-assembly, you're going to create the presentation file. So Inventor just wondering which is the case, which one is the assembly file. Say indicate the assembly file and then say open. Click on open button. And then yes, you see this is presentation file creation environment. You see we have a new tab, presentation tab. And in the display, you see we have the model of that assembly. During creating the presentation file, well, it is a good practice to make a highlighting that, for instance, here there is not only one surface, but the surface of this component, the surface of the other component. Well, do it again, change the visualization style. Clicked on View tab, and from this list, Visual Style list, select Shaded with Edge option. I always recommend. And then, well, this is of course a question whether you're going to record the things under this zoom factor or that zoom factor, which one? Well, if you have something to make a highlighting at this stage, during the assembling or disassembling stage, well, a tiny portion is to be seen or shown, then make zoom in, of course. But to be able to show components and the tracks along which the components are to be displaced during the assembling or disassembling stage, to be able to show not only the components but also the track lines, okay, in the screen, then make zoom out, of course. Well, at this stage, during the tweaking stage, you're going to much more easily understand what I mean, saying zoom in or zoom out. Okay, clicked on presentation tab, and then, well, for this assembly, obvious, for demontaging purpose, disassembling purpose, well, first nut is to be unscrewed and moved, and then this washer, and then we can take the bolt away, washer away, and then, well, disassemble the components. I know that it is the sequence. So, well, I'm going to here make a zoom in to this part to be able to clearly explain or demonstrate that nut is to be unwounded first. Well, this is a right-handed nut. The groove, helical groove, within the hole of the nut is a right-handed groove. If it is right-handed groove, then to be able to unwound it, unscrew it, it must be rotated in the counterclockwise direction. Okay. Yes. After positioning the model, okay, to allow the person to see the things much more clearly, and setting the zoom size, clicked on Capture Camera button. It is to say that record the things under this zoom factor and in this orientation. Clicked on Capture Camera. And then clicked on Tweak Components button. Yes. To define which component is to be demontage. Okay. Moving it in which direction, or displacing it rotational type motion or linear motion. Yes, clicked on Tweak Component button. And then, well, after clicking on this button, find such things in the screen. Well, some cases those options may coincide with the path on which you're going to say something or demonstrate the things. Well, this is the gripping end of this group. For this group, clicked and drag the mouse. Yes, if it is preventing the observer or yourself from seeing the things, okay, because of clashing, then hold it and move it to an empty space. And then here, what we have? We have duration box. Into this box, write the time period at each stage while you're tweaking the components. Okay, you're going to record the things how many seconds. Whether the animation file will show the things, the displacements of the components very quickly with a accelerated speed, watching speed, or very slowly, slow record or quick record. Well, if you want to record the things quickly and allow the person to watch the things very quickly as accelerated, then write a small duration number. Okay. If you want to decrease the recording time, say increase the recording time, so allow the person to see the displacement animation of for the displacement very slowly, slow record, then write a big number into this box. I wrote 5 seconds. Okay, for each displacement stage, the time duration will be 5 seconds. Okay, and then, well, drop this list. Well, I'm going to prepare this animation file not for the object but for the components of the object. So select component option, and then which component? First, I know that nut is to be demontage. Indicate the nut with a click, and after the click can find these two buttons ready to select. The automatically selected tab is on Move tab. Well, if this tab is on, then we can move the selected component in linear direction. While holding this arrow in the direction it is parallel to the x-axis, holding this arrow in the direction parallel to y-axis, holding this arrow can move it in the direction parallel to the z-axis. But you know, since we have helical groove mated with the groove of the threaded part of the bolt, cannot move it in the linear direction. We need to unscrew the nut first. So the displacement is rotary type. Click on rotate button, and then after this click we find such sectors with the associated balls. Okay, well, this sector is perpendicular to the longitudinal axis of the nut, and if I hold this ball with a click and then move the mouse while I am holding the left button of the mouse pressed along circular paths, can animate the unscrewing stage. If, in other words, if the selected component is to be rotated about the axis, it is perpendicular to this sector, then yes, hold this ball and then move the mouse. But if you need to rotate the selected component about an axis which is perpendicular to this sector, then hold this ball. Okay, here obvious that nut is to be rotated about an axis which is perpendicular to this surface, to this sector. It is just the longitudinal axis. So hold this ball, not the others. And then after left clicking the mouse, you see I have a circle which is simulated. And then I know that it's a right-handed screw. It has a right-handed screw. And to be able to unscrew the nut, I need to rotate it in the counterclockwise direction. So move the mouse over the pad in the correct direction to rotate the nut, okay, in this simulation in the counterclockwise direction. Okay, this is to say that first unscrew it. And then, well, clicked on Move tab. It is to say that move the nut in the axial direction. Hold the arrow, okay, corresponding arrow, and drag the mouse. Well, up to this stage, I allow the reader or the person, he or she should watch the record under such a zoom factor. But thereafter, I want to allow the person to see the linear displacements of the nut in a smaller zoom factor, because I want to allow the person to see this component is to move furtherly along which path, in which direction, and the nut is to be placed where. Under this zoom factor, cannot see the rest of the displacement. So I'm going to finish this tweaking stage, clicking on OK button, and then change the zoom factor. Zoom out. Well, position it over here, and then, well, using the camera, okay, well, is set to toward the model at such a distance away, as if imagine that there is a camera, it is to record the things. Well, I made a zoom out, and so say that camera is not very close to the assembly but away. One more time clicked on capture camera button. It is to say that record the things well, at such a distance under such a zoom factor. And then start the tweaking stage again. Continue. Hold this component, say that component option from this list, indicate the nut, and then yes, continue. Hold this arrow, and this is to say that as if there is a robot, and robot hand is to display the nut in this direction. And then clicked on this arrow and move the nut in this direction. It is in the consideration say that there is a basket to collect the nuts. Okay, and over there is a basket. Robot hand, after unwinding the nut, is to display it in this direction along this track, in that direction, in this direction, and then finally it is the displacement to put it into the basket. Imagine that there is a basket here in which we're going to collect the nuts. Okay, and then, well, for this component, it is okay. Clicked on OK button, and then continue. Clicked on first, to be able to allow the person to see which component is to be selected and display, I made a zoom in. So say that at this stage, record the things using a camera setting. Clicked on capture camera button, and then clicked on tweak component. And then indicate the washer. No need to rotate washer, so directly hold this arrow and then say that, drag the mouse, move it in this direction. And then after that, I'm going to change the zoom factor, use a different camera setting. So clicked on OK button for a while, and then yes, zoom out, bring the model over here in the screen, and then say that record the rest of the disassembling stage for this washer using a different camera setting. Clicked on capture camera button, and then re-clicked on tweak component, and then re-indicate this washer, and then continue. Hold it and then move it in this direction, and then hold this arrow, move it in that direction as parallel to y-axis, and then move it in this direction. Imagine that there is another basket to collect the washers, or imagine that there is another table to put the washers onto that place. These are the tracks, the paths along which the robot hand is to display the selected component. And then clicked on OK button. And then, well, I'm going to change the observation direction, because here now allow the person, he or she should watch such a record, to say that, yeah, well, hold this component from its head. Yes, I changed the camera viewing direction, and this is another camera shutting, camera positioning. Clicked on capture camera button one more time, and then clicked on tweak component button, and then indicate this component. Select component option, and then indicate the component, and then hold the arrow. Okay, this arrow, because I know that first the bolt is to be taken away, moving it in the direction of the longitudinal axis. Okay, take it to outside, and then, well, clicked on OK button. Why? Because I'm going to change the camera setting. Zoom out to be able to see where is the basket, etc. Re-clicked on capture camera button, tweak component button, and then continue. One more time indicate the bolt, and then say it is to be displaced furtherly in this direction, and then in the scenario say there is a table or basket to collect the bolts. Move it in this direction, and then, well, drop it into the basket. Yes. Clicked on OK button, and then, well, zoom in, capture camera, tweak component, and then indicate this washer. Say that take it away, and then say OK. Why? Because I'm going to change the zoom factor to be able to allow the person to see the rest of this disassembling stage. And I'm going to use this camera setting, so clicked on capture camera button, tweak component, and then hold the washer again, and then furtherly move it in this direction, in that direction, and then this direction. And then I know that the basket for collecting the washers is over there, and then located that place. Clicked on OK. And then yes, well, tweak components one more time. Hold this component and then yes, take it where to here, for instance, and then move it in this direction to put it into another basket, and then say OK. And then, well, the other component, tweak component, hold it, OK, move it in this direction, and then put it into the same basket. I think it is clear enough. And then say OK. Yes, that's it. Here, if you're going to create a drawing file, have a drawing sheet on which to have the components as if exploded like this, then clicked on New Snapshot View. Clicked on this button. Yes. And then, if you clicked on Create Drawing View button, but since I forgot to save this animation file, Inventor noticing me, shall you save? Yes, first save. OK. Where in the package folder, workspace folder, you know, since I already applied pack and go process, well, all the files are in package folder. The created ones by the user are in workspace folder. So Inventor knows that it is the address, so selected the same address, workspace folder. In workspace folder, save this file. OK, say that the name of the file, surname, ID number, and then say that presentation or animation, OK, if there will be some other animation files, then order it, animation 1. OK, date of today, April blah. OK, I'm recording the things on the 5th of April, so April 5. And then clicked on Save button. After saving the presentation file, of course, thereafter or just at the preceding stage, clicked on Create Drawing View button. Then yes, you're going to find this dialog box. In the dialog box, select metric option first, and then say that you're going to obey to the rules of ISO and have the file in Inventor format. Do not select AutoCAD template, Inventor template. And then say OK. And then yes, well, Inventor ready to create the views in which can see the components as if exploded. Under which scale, 1 to 4 is the offered scale factor. OK, this or that, which one is more suitable? OK, say that this is OK. Well, clicked on this intermediate button because it is not a detailed drawing. It's an assembly drawing. You know, in assembly drawings, we omit the images of hidden entities. So this style is OK. To be able to have the components in the color of the material or in the color they have been painted, as if you see those in solid model environment, clicked on this style button as well. And then yes, clicked on OK button. Yes, you see the components as tweaked, as disassembled, and well, and also can show the track lines, can see the track lines. And then, well, on this drawing, it is called exploded diagram. You see the components, the images of the components are pictorial, and well, we have the assembly as if exploded. Well, today actually, well, presentation file is sufficient. No need to create such a drawing. But if it is asked, if it is just say that at the field there is no computer to watch the presentation file, So, well, if you create such a drawing file, then it may be used by the technicians. Of course, identify the components, annotation, ballooning, auto balloon. Okay, and then the balloons will be shown on which view, indicate this view. And for which components, all of the components, select all of the components via taking them into the window. And then show the balloons around the components, clicked on this. And then finally clicked on select placements button. And then in the region, okay, moving the cursor, just try to locate the balloons. Do not think too much at that stage. Arbitrarily make a click and then say OK. And then say OK. If you couldn't find the balloon at a proper location, then hold it from its center and then change its place. Okay. Well, for instance, this balloon is very away from this component. Hold it and drag it to the vicinity of the component. Okay, you can make such arrangements. Parts list, well, on the exploded, this is not an assembly drawing, this is the exploded figure, exploded diagram. Well, you may show the parts list, click on parts list and then indicate the same view and then say OK, you know, and then anchor the parts list just above the title block. And then yes, edit the parts list. Previous video record, I deeply sufficiently talk about how an assembly drawing created, how the balloons can be shown, how the parts list is edited. Here this is just to say that it is possible to create such an exploded diagram. And on the exploded diagram can show the balloons and even add the parts list. Okay, save this file. And then turn back to assembly, say assembly animation file, presentation file. And then, well, after defining the paths for each component, finishing the tweaking stage, then yes, have a look at, yeah, well, in this presentation file, it is just a video film. You see at the bottom edge, we have forward play, backward play buttons. Clicked on forward play and then see the recorded things. Yes, under such a zoom factor, it is to allow the person to see the component. You see, I changed the camera capture position. So, well, zoom out. Passing from zoom in to zoom out is smooth, you see. Yes, for each displacement, duration is 5 seconds. Okay, and then change the camera setting position. Zoom in. You see, well, passing from stage to stage is smooth, slowly. And then, well, after defining the path for this washer, you remember I changed the camera position. And then, well, tweak the bolt, making zoom out to allow the person to see the paths along which the components are to be displaced. And then made zoom in to say that, yeah, this is the component washer to select. Okay. Yes, if you clicked on the forward play button, then you can see the stages for disassembling the components. Yes, now you're watching this record to see how the assembly can be disassembled. Yes. And then end of the record. But if we clicked on backward play button, then can see the things to assemble the components. Okay, assembling stage, not demontage, not disassembling, but assembling stage. Backward play. Yes, it is to say that first find this component from the basket and then put it onto the table, as if. And then from the basket, find the other component, move it, bring it to the place and align it with respect to the other, and then take the washer in the order. Yes. And then place it to where? Here I'm going to make a zoom in. I made a zoom in, remember. In a greater size, yes. Can see. Where is the place? Zoom in. And then say take the bolt from the basket. Okay, robot. Imagine that there is a robot and it is displacing the selected component. Robot can move the component in linear direction along linear path. Zoom in, and then after placing, inserting the bolt at the other side, place the other washer. Where? Make a zoom in. Yes, I all recorded such things. Yes, in the presentation file we have all of such things. Okay, and then take the nut from the basket, bring it to the vicinity of the other part of the assembly, and then yes, screw it. First position it, okay, in alignment with the stem of the bolt, and then screw it in the clockwise direction to tighten it. Yes, here is the content of this animation file. If the receiver, the person, he or she should see the things, has Inventor as the software, then yes, just send this animation file. It is in Inventor format. But if the person has no Inventor, hasn't got an Inventor as the software, but that person can watch a video film only, yes, Inventor can record the things in video format. Okay, then see, clicked on this video recording or creation button. For the already defined tweaking, already prepared presentation file, okay, all the things will be recorded in video format. In this dialog box, first from this list, select the resolution for the video record. Well, if the size of the file is to be small to send it via emailing, then well, select poor resolution, low resolution. But if you can send the file through email message, its size is okay in the order less than the limit of the allowance, then yes, it is recommended select higher resolution. Okay, I selected this highest resolution option. Okay, in the x direction there will be 1900 pixel points, in the vertical direction 1080 pixel points. It is the highest resolution, but it takes a greater size, of course. The file of the size of the video file will be relatively greater. Okay, and then file location, file format. Drop this list and select AVI format or WMV format. Nowadays this video format is more common. And then don't forget to show the destination address. Clicked on this button, that video film will be recorded where? For being saved to site, always show the address. You see the automatically selected one is the wrong address. Well, from here I said that partition D, and in partition D show the address of the project folder. Okay. Yes, since previous week I made the demonstration for section 1 students. Well, Inventor just still keeping the history and automatically selected the project folder for section 1 project folder of section 1. But here I am recording the things for section 2 students. Okay, so well, I clicked on this address indication button and then here indicating. Well, that is the project folder, and since I already apply pack and go process, show the address in package folder where workspace folder. Yes, that is the address for this video record, and then clicked on select folder button, and then yes, can clicked on OK button to start the video record. Yes, publishing video, creating video film. Yes, all the things will be displayed again by the software while the disassembling stage is being displaced. Then all the things at the background are recorded in video format. Yes. As I said, to be able to make the video or animation file as a quick play one, then can decrease the duration. Well, I select for each tweaking stage 5 seconds. So it takes a certain, cumulatively a certain time in the order of minutes. Speed record or slow record. Depending on the case, just changing the duration time can make it quick record or slow record. With the highest resolution, I am now recording the video, creating the video film. It's going to be in video format, so well, any person can find video player in an ordinary computer and then watch such a record. But presentation file requires Inventor, of course. If, repeat again, in case, well, the person, he or she should watch such a disassemble or assembling demo or animation, has no Inventor in the system, in his or her system computer, then yes, for allowing that person to see the things, how the components are assembled or disassembled, well, create a video film. How? Clicking on video recorder button, record button, and then, well, of course, in the dialog box, select the resolution for that video record, and then video format AVA or WMV. Okay, and then, well, select the address for saving the video file, and then clicked on OK button. And then, yes, Inventor said that finish the video creation stage, and then say OK. And then, yes, that's it. Well, here I really wonder whether video record is satisfactory. Well, I'm going to open the folder in my computer. Yes, this is the project folder and package folder, workspace folder. Okay, and yes, this is the video film. You see it is extension WMV. Yes, you see in the address at this stage I show the address saying that record the video film in workspace folder. Yes, it is okay. It is available in the address, and then double clicking open this video. This is not Inventor file. This is a video file. And you see in the video film we have the presentation animation. Yes, when the resolution you see is quite good, high resolution. Okay, press escape button and then close the video film. And I wonder the size of this video record. Yes, you see size is near to 13 megabyte. Okay. I think in mail environment can send a mail message if the size of the mail message including its attachment is less than 15 megabyte, can send it. Okay, this is okay, less than 15 megabyte. So it can be sent using mail account. Okay, then well, turn back to Inventor, and since we created new files, yes, this exploded diagram, this presentation file, okay, one more time apply the pack and go process to be able to collect the data in the same address. And the data files at the background while we are creating the presentation file, sure, Inventor created some other data files, okay, at the background. So, well, collect all the data files created by the software, okay, and also to collect the created files, newly created files, apply one more time pack and go process. You know, to be able to satisfactorily apply pack and go process, first close all the files, dependent files, drawing files, part files, etc. Only have the assembly file. Okay? Yes, this is the assembly file. I open the assembly file and then apply pack and go process. This is the second time. So select save as, and in this pane select pack and go. Well, if you're going to keep the pack and go folder to its existing content, then, well, create another package folder, say that package 2. But if it is the case, no need to keep the pack and go folder to its existing previous content. Well, say you're going to collect the files, the old ones and all already existing ones and the newly created ones in the same package folder, then yes, show the same address. Here, don't forget, click on this button and then show the address in which package folder you're going to collect data. Yes. Well, since for section 1 students I demonstrated things here, at the time I selected the package folder for section 1, so it is the existing address. No, it is the wrong address. Well, I'm going to record the things, applying pack and go process one more time for section 2 students. So I know that the package folder is in this address. So where? In this subfolder, and this is the project folder. And since last video record I apply pack and go process already, and here I decided to overwrite the existing files and the newly created files in the same package folder, not in other package folder but the same package folder. I selected the same package folder as the destination folder and then clicked on OK. And then yes, don't forget to click on more button to be able to find the other search button to click. The second search button to collect the referencing files. These are drawing files and animation files. Okay, click on first search now button. Okay, and well, have such a list. In the list we have the files in which we have the components and the assembly. Okay, clicked on the second search now button, and here in the list can find the drawing files and animation file. You see IPN is the animation file extension. Okay, this is the newly created presentation file, and add those files to the destination, clicking on add button, and then start the pack and go process. But here, as it is expected, Inventor just detected that, well, in the package folder is not empty. There are some files already created, already retrieved, and Inventor saying that, shall you replace the existing ones with the newly gathered ones? Yes, my answer is yes. I am sure I am going to replace the existing ones, old versions, with the new ones, new versions. Yes to all. And Inventor, for being safe to site, one more time taking the verification, saying that, well, there is such a file, assembly file. Shall you overwrite the existing assembly? Yes. Do it for all the files, part files and assembly files. I said, saying yes to all. And then Inventor one more time noticing pack and go log file. Yes, log file is created, and having the log file can ensure that pack and go process has been applied. There is an already created log file. Shall you overwrite the new log file onto the existing one? Overwrite it? The answer is yes. Okay. And then say OK. And then the progress bar will progress along the slot. And then when the green bar reach to the end of the slot, then this means you apply pack and go process. You can finish the stage clicking on done button. That is it. Dear students, one more time, apply pack and go process. And in this video record, I think I managed to educate you on the presentation files, how a presentation file can be created. Okay, dear students, finishing this video record. Stay healthy. Bye bye.